SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.
Lakeland Yard and Garden would like to wish you a safe and happy holiday season. Visit us for great gift ideas, fresh cut Christmas trees, wreaths and garland, collectible ornaments, and more. Happy holidays from Lakeland Yard and Garden.
I'm Steve Azar, and I'm on the other side of the microphone, meaning I'm asking the questions this time, and oh, have mercy for the airwaves. I spent 20 years in Music City, wrote and made some hits, traveled the world, and then moved my family back to the birthplace of American music and where the magnolia trees prosper. And now every time I put my feet on Mississippi soil, when I'm off the road, well, I'm at peace. On this show, it's all about hearing the stories straight from the mouths of the friends I've made along the way, their journey to success. Heck, there might be someone on, I don't even know, but you know how us Mississippi types are. We tend to take well to new company. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them. I'm Steve Azar. It's just like that muddy river, moving slow. Ain't no worries, it's how life goes, baby. In a Mississippi Minute. That's right.
Hey folks, time for another In a Mississippi Minute. Excited about today's guest. He's an annual visitor because he's that way to me. Because I know he probably would rather not do it, but I'm like his little brother in a way, so he has to do it. Before we get there, visit Mississippi.org. So many wonderful things that await you. Plan a road trip. Plan a road trip somewhere you hadn't been in a while. And especially over this holiday season, which today's guest did do a Mississippi Christmas movie, which I can't wait to watch like I always do. Gwen and I, my wife, on this fine holiday season. So let's just talk about my man here. I always love kicking it off with him, especially over the holidays. I usually get him at New Year's. Just so many incredible things that he's done and continues to do in the acting world. A few years back, he teamed up with Tim Allen and a reality show competition building series. Before that, of course, everybody knows Al on Home Improvement Tool Time, which I'm giving away my guest today. But such a big pivotal role in his life coming from theater. Now, I'm not looking at my screen anymore. Coming from theater making his way to one of the greatest shows of all time. Sitcoms on major networks. Can you imagine the percentage of successful ones that have made it through that? And this man was a huge part of the success of Home Improvement. He's got a lot going on, and I've been seeing a lot about a little reunion stuff with him and Debbie Dunning and Tim Allen and et cetera. So instead of me just getting into a long intro, because this man would take a couple months, I want to welcome in my dear pal, Richard Karn. Hey, buddy.
Thank you, Steve. I don't think I have anything else to say.
Listen, I have a whole list of stuff, and I just went off the cuff there.
Well, it's what you do,
Yeah, unfortunately.
Being a musician, I don't know if you've been doing jazz at all, but holy smokes, you just keep going. I see you all over the place also.
It's been busy. Your buddy that you introduced me to many years put a little torture on me, and we had the best time taking me to sign a 2-day ABA contract with a bunch of 20-something-year-olds. And I was looking good.
You're under contract now for basketball?
2 days. I think I'm going back in January. I'm making an appearance every once in a while and play a few minutes a game,
Wow.
That's all I need, a few minutes, It's hard running up and down the court. But, I screwed up. I went to my high school, and I got on the shooting machine, and in about 40 minutes, I shot 123s and 40 free throws, and I was hitting like the old days. It was weird. I hadn't played basketball in 10 years. I was on a roll. It felt good, and I strained a tendon. My son Adrian, now the doctor, said in my shooting elbow, I couldn't even lift it the day of the game, and I was going like, you've got to be kidding me. So I'm not even capable of training. That's how bad it is.
Well, you always warm up before golf. Just don't warm up so much.
So much. Anyway.
You don't need to. You have all of that information in your head. You just have to release it.
I'm not going to do it. If I go back in January, I'm going to throw it up about 20 times, and that's it. I need my elbow. All right. So
exactly. It's like when you warm up for golf. You hit a few chip shots, you hit a few drivers, you hit a few mid shots, and then you're good to go.
And then you go home. No, I'm kidding. All right. First of all, let's talk about golf real quick. How have you been spending a little time on the course? And
I've been spending some time. I had a really difficult last couple of months. When you get to be our age, I don't say that I I forgot. It's just I didn't remember. It's all in there. I just didn't remember. And I made this conscious effort. I was working on 30-yard, 40-yard shots, not to get so much wrist into it. Yeah, just because you don't need the club head speed that your wrists give you in the follow through as much in those shorter. And then it seeped into mid irons and my driver, and all of a sudden I was like losing distance, and I couldn't figure it out.
The Steve Stricker way of chipping the Jason Day around the greens,
right?
They take the wrists out of it.
And I was doing that with my other clubs.
Oh, wow!
And I forgot that club head speed was attached to that, in some weird way. And I was losing distance. I couldn't figure it out. I go, I'm old. And then, somebody said, well, how come you're not using your wrists? And I go, that's a good question. And as soon as I did that, all the confidence came back, and I'm back to,
hitting it.
My distances, which aren't, necessarily that great because I'm older. But, still, I can now get my 7-iron out there 150 instead of 130.
Let me tell you what. That's still great. And another thing, you're an athlete, and you know how to move the ball around the course. And you got great hands around the green. But that's the one thing for me is I've played way less. The short game stuff, which was what I used to really rely on, has become it's taken a back seat. It's just very difficult for me to get up and down, and I don't make the birdies I used to make. So you could overcome a double in 3 or 4 holes and get a couple shots back. Those days for me are over if I'm not going to work on my game. But I'm content with it all. I'm happy. My friends are going, "What happened to you?" And I'm going like, "Hey guys, I can't train my whole life. There's other things going on." So,
right.
And musically and stuff, I'm playing so much. Let's talk about you right now. What's this reunion thing I'm seeing? It's a little bit confusing to me. Are you guys about to do episodes again or what? What's going on?
It's very confusing, but that's, the Disney PR machine. Months back, I get a call from the producers of Tim's show, Shifting Gears. We would like to bring you on in the first episode back, and they sent me the script, and it was kind of weird. We were these people at a bar talking about how we can't move on, and there was just a lot of really kind of patheticness with these characters, and I go, I don't know if I want to do that. I'd love, and the producer calls me and goes, "Listen, I totally understand what you're talking about, and it's not going to be like that. That was the first draft. We're gonna tweak things here and there, and it's going to be great. It'll be a lot of fun, and it's you, and it's Debbie, and it's Pat Richardson." And I go, okay, all right, well, okay, and I just decided, okay, let's do it. We'll work stuff out, and I won't come off as pathetic as that seems. But then, once we did it, the PR machine of Disney just kind of created this whole thing about a home improvement reunion, almost alluding to the fact that we might bring back the show.
Which is what I thought was happening.
Yeah. Well, there's a side thing going on where they might be doing something on Hulu where they use all of our old kind of interviews and piece it together for some type of a show. I have no idea what that is, but they get a lot of traction, a lot of clicks with people wanting, that show to come back or some semblance of it. And, they haven't talked those specifics with me at all.
Do you think that if you guys all came back, how do you feel like it'd be perceived in the public's eye now? Don't you feel like that it would absolutely slay?
Well, it really comes down to writing. I mean, you can get us all together and that's going to be fun. But if the story or the writing isn't up to par, then, it just kind of lays there flat and people go, oh yeah, it's kind of past its prime. There's a lot to be said about really, really good, concise writing and being funny. And they've taken some of that out of shows now because they're pinching pennies and they're not hiring as many writers, as many, people in support like that. So, we lose some of that. Yeah. And maybe that's why some of the streaming shows are so much better right now is because they're spending the money on what the show should be and sound like and write. You know, when you watch a show like The Diplomat, or you watch a show,
sure,
you know, that has really concise, wonderful storylines, you know, you watch that.
Yeah. Richard Karn is my guest today. Don't forget, he also hosted Family Feud after Richard Dawson. I mean, are you kidding me? I didn't see him kissing on everybody like Richard used to do, but what an amazing job he did. I want to talk to him in a minute about the difference between that and screen and theater, which Richard cut his teeth on theater in the early days, him and his wife Tootie. And I think Tootie's actually acting right now, or just got through. We'll get right back to it. Visit Mississippi.org.
Just got through doing a show, yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about that. Richard and Tootie come here every year, unless they're working, and they come here to help raise money for our charity event. It's hard for them to get to us, but yet they make the trip, and we love them so much, and how much they have mattered for Mississippi, I can't even go there. It's just too great and grand. We'll be right back.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now.
Family Termite is a
water, and we're in too deep.
Steve Azar here, stumbling through a Mississippi Minute. I've got my dear friend Richard Karn, Rick Karn. Call him Rick, call him Richard. But all I know is he's lit it up in his career, and somebody so deserving. I'm just so grateful for his friendship. I'm grateful for you guys tuning in, and I'm also hoping you guys are going to be watching the Rose Bowl this year, because the birthplace of America's music will be on showcase. Big old float from the state of Mississippi. Check it out. Go to visit Mississippi.org and plan a road trip, as I always say. I mean, I'm a cliche now, but that's what you got to do. You got to go somewhere you hadn't been in a while. Richard, let's talk about that last question. The difference between prepping for theater versus on screen, TV and film, versus the Family Feud.
Oh, wow. Those are three totally different animals going on there. Theater, you know, hopefully you get at least 2-3 weeks of rehearsing, and you do it, and then the situation and the words are there, and you have a sense of where it's going. Sometimes with TV and film, you don't have as much prep time. You know, there are some directors that love to have a month out, and you work the scenes and you work the lines without filming it. And other times they really like the spontaneity of the moment, because all of a sudden interesting things come from actors that know how to, not improv. Well, okay, improv and add to a scene, or add something, different that wasn't in rehearsal. Or wasn't planned, and those things are magic. You'll read about that in movies all the time, that this line that movies are known for just happened in the moment. It wasn't even written, but it was just something that the actor or the director mentioned to do, and all of a sudden it became a signature moment.
So it's constantly being written. Like when we're in the recording studio and we're making the record, a lot of times I have rewritten a lot of stuff that had to happen. If it didn't happen, would not have worked. And because it's constantly, until it's out there, it's not out there. So that goes on in your world.
Yeah. Well, it does. And I think it goes on in everybody's world. Anybody that has to get up and speak in front of a small group, a large group, as their mind gets more comfortable with that, all of a sudden things occur to them in the moment that they didn't write down, and adds to, the honesty and the comedy, or the, not the drama, but the poignancy of a moment, depending on what they're talking about. So everybody deals with that in a different way, maybe just in your own conversation. So we take it to that level because we have to. It's being filmed, and we're working for a certain product. But Family Feud was different because it was more improv. There was the confines of the show with what's going on with the the rules of the game and everything. But whatever people said and however I responded to that, you can't write that down. You just don't know what people are going to say. And if you try to write something funny, for a certain question, it might not sound organic. It might just sound kind of out there in left field, just trying to be funny. And then sometimes that just falls flat. So you have to really be on your toes when you're doing Family Feud. And I did it pretty much in time. We did 6 shows a day, and we did
that. Just sounds, how does your mind work?
Your mind works on overload, not overload, but you're so in the moment that when something really funny happens, 10 minutes later, you don't remember. You've moved on because you have to.
I got that though, but fatigue, your mind fatigue wise. My mind gets tired 6 hours in.
Well, it was more by my voice. I didn't have a proper earwig to hear myself properly, and the audiences were loud, and I was shouting over them sometimes, and my voice got a little tired, so I couldn't do like 3 days in a row where they wanted 6, 6, and 6. I could do the 6 and 6, but on the third day, I was kind of vocally, strained.
Yeah, no fooling. That sounds impossible. Yeah. Okay, from a guy that had to deal with having throat surgery, and why that happened, it wasn't from singing, it was from talking. So and especially you're talking about not having the technology in your ear like you needed to hear over all of that noise and all that. And then you're trying to step up over it all and be exciting. I get it, which you were, but yeah, you could have ruined your voice.
Well, and also just in regular day-to-day life, you have to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
You have to keep these.
Sound like my mom now. Come on.
Well, there are some people that just are sitting around and they don't talk most of the day. And then somebody comes over and they're, hey, how you doing? Yeah. And all of a sudden you don't have a resonance in your voice. And you say, well, I don't know what's going on. I can't talk very, and just keep these things lubricated. That's all.
Yeah. You know what I do? You're going to laugh at me. But when I was growing up, my dad and mom found these things called blackcurrant pastilles. They came in these cans, and it always, when we were writing songs and stuff, it would all my songwriters loved it. But I think I got to the point where it didn't work, but it put a coating on your throat as you were going through things. So I realized that Juju fruits were cheaper and better, and they tasted better. And I always went to and I call it medicinal. So my guys, Jason and Chris, as you know, in my band, I'll text them and they go, I know what you want. And I said, I need it for medicinal purposes. That's the joke around the running joke. And they'll bring me 4 boxes at a time. And I have to hide them from Gwen. I got them in the drawer. At night, she'll go, what are you eating? And I got more candy and jelly bellies, and you don't even want to know. I'm addicted. But I do think that does help my throat in a serious matter. Put a little coating on it, and I feel like water is great, but it goes and comes down, it goes down, and you're hydrating. But what about what can help protect the throat muscles as they're being worked? All right.
Well, remember in those old commercials when Bugs Bunny would be singing or something like that, and they had the spray bottle, to coat their throats. I mean, that came out of something that was
so
real.
Funny. That's so funny. You're right. I've never thought about that. Okay, so 6 episodes a day. Was that 6 hours worth or more?
A little more. I mean, we would do 3 in the morning, cut for lunch, and 3 in the afternoon. So,
you do,
but
so
I think
18 a week.
Most of the time.
18 a week ish, right? So you weren't able to do anything else with acting during this period, could you have?
Not really. I mean, if something came up during the week, I could have. But as I got further along in my career, I stopped working as hard at finding work. I mean, that early on when I was in New York, that was my job, was to look for work.
Yeah.
That's our job, because work is going to last 1 week, 2 weeks, 6 weeks maybe, and then you got to find the next thing. And so your job is finding work. Then the work is just kind of your vacation, your reward for all the hard work you put in.
Think about all the times that you did it for basically nothing, right?
Basically nothing. I mean, that's how I met the producers of Home Improvement.
Yeah.
I went to Indiana for $100 a week and did this 2-week playwrights conference. And it wasn't really for the money. It was just for the experience. And I had no idea that I would meet these guys. And you know what it turned out? And all of a sudden now I've got a 35-year career because I met those guys on just saying yes to a certain job.
A certain job. Well, you and I have talked about it. I want to go back. If people want to go back and listen to some past episodes that we've been on, they can hear all about how you not just stumbled into it was fate, but how it happened, which was really quite unique. I want to talk about Tootie on the other side of the break, how she's doing. I know that she's been doing some theater. I've been kind of keeping up from afar, but I want to check in on that. And I want to talk about what you're going to be doing for the holidays with Richard Karn, folks, Rick Karn. And if you guys thinking that Home Improvement and Tool Time is coming back, we just found out that it has been a political ploy against me personally, I got to tell you. And I thought we were about to roll again. But Richard Karn is always rolling. He's a blessing for our Mississippi, even though he lives in Los Angeles by way of Seattle. Seattle, that's what I'm talking about. Visit Mississippi.org celebrates the birthplace of America's music. Hallelujah. We took it back over, sorry, Texas, but we took it back over, I'd say, about 20 years ago. And me moving back home, it really has made a big difference that we did. I can tell you, I'm grateful. Spread the gratitude. That's one of the most beautiful things that you can do. We'll be right back on In a Mississippi Minute. I'm Steve Azar.
We're in cold water, and I shall believe.
$20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now.
From the Seabrook.
In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Richard Karn and I are having a good time, or I'm having a good time. Richard always keeps me straight. He's sort of a big brother of mine now. Anytime I get a little too carried away, he goes, Steve, bring it back a little bit. Bring it back in the lane. His wife, Tootie, is so special, crazy talented singer, theater, actress, and that's how these guys, I believe, met, if I'm not mistaken. Visit Mississippi.org. If you haven't met them in a while, please check it out. Richard, let's talk Tootie. First of all, you told me how you guys met. I believe it was theater. And then tell me what she's been up to.
Well, yeah, we did. We met doing a play back in 1983, actually. And since then, we've probably done, I don't know, 5 or 6 projects together, theater quite a few times. She was on Home Improvement as one of Jill's sisters, Carrie. She's currently, with this theater group right now where they just finished doing a play, which was really kind of an interesting new play called The Marriage Zone, which kind of had a Twilight Zone feel to it because you had 3 couples who all of a sudden become, you have this middle-aged couple, say in their 40s, and they're selling their house. They want to move on. They want to go to a better school district for their kid or whatever. And then a young couple comes in to take a look at the house. And then while the young couple are there, an older couple comes into the house, 20s, 40s, 60s, come back to look at the house that they used to be in, that used to be their house. And then slowly you find out that they're all the same people in different stages of their life. Exactly. Yeah. So that was really fun. And Tootie had a great time, doing that. They're with a company called Sky Pilot. Yeah, remember that song, Sky Pilot? Well, that's the name of their theater group.
Okay, and so is it L.A.?
It's in L.A., yes.
She didn't have to travel. You guys have separated yourselves from time to time. And
early on, we would be separated, because we lived in New York, but we would get jobbed out to, Actors Theater of Louisville or the Players Theater of Columbus or a theater up in Vermont or a theater in, wherever. And we would be gone, part of the year. And finally, I think I was in Columbus, Ohio doing a play, and Tootie calls me and says, okay, we're moving to California. And I go, we're moving to California? Yep, we're doing that. She said, are you sure? She goes, yeah, we've been apart too much and we just got to go to California and be in the same spot and start a family.
Wow.
Go, okay. I'm all for that. But remember, New York is more musical theater, which is kind of her strong point in what she had been doing. California isn't that as much, but she said, no, we're going to do that. And that's kind of why we moved to California and then got Home Improvement like a year and a half later.
All right, you guys you birthed a child like we did.
During the first season of Home Improvement. He's 33 now.
I can't believe he's 30. He's a little older than Strack. I love seeing a picture of you guys together with Strack there. It was the coolest thing.
We saw his movie. It was amazing. It was really great. Congratulations.
Oh, well, y'all were so sweet. Y'all made the movie famous by y'all being there. I appreciate it. Most famous people there. So what did you do? Because Gwen could not leave. So I was on the tour bus or wherever I was gone, and sometimes really gone for 20, 30 days at a time. Gwen chose to raise when we had 3 kids, so it got even more complicated as they got older. Did y'all ever homeschool?
No, not intentionally, but bringing up a child is homeschooling.
Well, yeah, but I mean, so
no, he was always in school or daycare or whatever. Okay,
yeah. So y'all didn't hit the road together like that.
Not always. Every once in a while, she would come out to visit. If I was there doing a play for 3 months, say.
So let's talk about that. 3 months. What was that like at that point, looking back, as far as it gets a little sad and lonely, right?
Yeah, but you're engaged. You're rehearsing and you're doing stuff, and so your mind is engaged with what you have to do. But then once the play is up, you have your days free, and it does. And then, when we went off and did a play together for 3 months, we were like together 24/7, during the day, at night. Yeah, it was, and I thought that might be a little weird, but no, it was great. It was fun,
When y'all did the theater deal together, was it Kansas City? Where were you? To Oklahoma?
Yeah, we were in Kansas City.
Kansas City, okay. So was that the first time you guys did a hardcore theater gig together?
No, we met doing a hardcore theater group.
Oh, I know that. But I'm saying since you met is what I'm saying. Was that the first time?
Well, since we met, a few months after we met, or after we did the first play together, I was doing another play off Broadway, and one of the women had to leave, and Tootie stepped in, so we did another play together right away. And then we did a play together with our son, which we produced, which was a lot of fun, which was really, on so many levels bizarre. And then ended up doing a couple of times, with the Kansas City Theater, the new theater in Kansas City. And they just asked us if we were looking or willing to do maybe next year, a year in advance. And we went, well, yeah, we'd like to look into that as long as it's, the right time of the year and the right project. I don't know if I can, do something where I've got a million lines and I'm on stage for 2 hours. I don't know if my head can remember that many words.
Yeah, that always scares the heck out of me. All right. Once you're rocking with Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Tootie lays off theater for a while, and if she, to be a mom, and to be a wife, and was that difficult looking back for her not to be on stage?
I think, in a small way, it was a relief that she could do that. We'd spent so many years, hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck, that she liked, that. But she was also, a voice actor, so she was still going out on commercials and voiceover stuff and things like that. She did voices in Red Dead Redemption. She did.
That's right. She does all these voiceovers. Right?
Some of the Star Wars animated series. She kept her toe in the water, so that was good. So
tell me about the whole voiceover stuff. That's like a pretty lucrative thing that you don't think about as a viewer. I never think about necessarily the voices unless they're so obvious, like your voice, or if you hear Jim Carrey, or if you hear Morgan Freeman. I know y'all's voices, and the world knows them. So what is that like? And financially, is it a cool thing? Talk to the cast of The Simpsons. But they're like Home Improvement. That's a Grand Slam, and that's a Grand Slam Series times 10, right? But others, the voices, you don't have just one character. Sometimes you are multiple characters in one show, and then multiple characters in a whole bunch of shows. Because you have a versatile voice, and you have that kind of where, I'm doing this other project and I know you and I like working with you. Let's, so work begets work in that sense. So, it is. And you can do it. Some people make, they have a home studio. They make a little soundproof booth in their house and they can do all of their work from home. When Tim talks about doing Toy Story, he didn't work with Tom Hanks that much, but they became friends, but they were always in separate sessions and stuff like that. So it is fun and very lucrative, depending on the projects. I mean, you're never on camera. I mean, I like that. You just kind of get it right behind the scenes. Yeah. And you think of Toy Story, those two together. Was it Buzz Lightyear and obviously the lead, the Woody? Woody, the two guys, right? Yeah. Insane. I mean, what's amazing is you're watching Woody and you're watching Buzz Lightyear and you swear, even though you know their voices, at some point you forget it's them and you really feel like it's those two toys. I mean, that's the magic in how it's done and how we perceive it and digest it. Let's take a quick break. Richard Karn is my guest today. We're heading into the holidays. I'm going to see what he's doing. Him and his wife, Tootie, are just, they're golden to our foundation here and to Mississippi. What they have done impact-wise for so many, I get to see it on a daily, weekly, sometimes monthly basis when I see what we're able to donate and give. But it's because of folks like Rick and Tootie that have allowed us to do that. And all of that giving is a big part of them and all of our friends that come to our Delta Soul and support our foundation. And we are forever grateful. Visit Mississippi.org. Grateful for them. They've been with me for over 7 years, and it's been a hoot. Rose Bowl, birthplace of American music. I'm Steve Azar. For so long, I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. You've been doing it. I'm doing it right. I'm still trying to find my way. Up to $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Homebuyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time homebuyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now.
The holidays mean puppies and fried dill pickles. For a flipping good time, come down to Cock of the Walk.
It's time to book your Christmas party. Great private rooms with beautiful views and fun festive atmosphere. Book soon and save. Mention you heard it on Super Talk and we'll waive the room charge. With locations on the Reservoir, Pocahontas, and 1 mile from the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee.
For a flipping good time, come down to Cock of the Walk.
I like chicken. I like fish. I like hush puppies.
I love it. Catfish is excellent.
For a flipping good time, come down to Cock of the Walk.
This winter, step into a world of snowflakes and magic with Disney's Frozen, the Broadway musical at New Stage Theater, December 4th through 21st. For the first time in forever, join Anna, Elsa, and their enchanted friends on a dazzling adventure that is perfect for the whole family. Tickets are melting away faster than Olaf in summer. Get yours now at newstagetheater.com or call 601-948-3533. Sponsored by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi, the Whittle Foundation, and Trustmark.
Nowadays, customers are searching online for the services they need. Are they looking at your business? Having a mobile-friendly website can really help you win new customers. Let SuperTalk Mississippi Media create a great-looking and very affordable website for your business. Plus, studies suggest that a well-written radio ad can lead to a 20% lift in traffic to your website. Just call SuperTalk Mississippi Media today at 601-991-2305 or go to stmmdigital.com.
For all your glass needs, call Venable Glass Services. Glass Networks. They're going to try and steer you to use their own glass shop. Well, you can tell your insurance you want to use Venable Glass, and there'll be no additional cost to them to get the highest quality glass. Venable Glass is locally owned and operated, and they do windshield replacement and rock repair right there in their shops. Or they'll even come to you in the Tri-County area for free. That's right, free mobile service. At Venable Glass, they also do frameless and frame shower doors, mirrors cut to size and installed, picture frame glass, tables, desktops, insulated glass, plexiglass, commercial storefronts, and heavy equipment glass. Venable Glass. They'll come out and give you a free estimate. They want to work hard for your business. Venable Glass. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and on Saturday, 8 to noon. Hey, there's 2 locations too in Ridgeland at 660 Highway 51 North and Brandon at 209 Woodgate Drive South in Cross Gates. Check them out on the web at venableglass.com. Remember, for all your glass needs, call Venable Glass Services. 601-605-4443.
Want to keep warmer this winter and cooler next summer and save money? Delta Utilities can help with generous rebates of up to $400 on new energy-efficient tankless water heaters, heating systems, and more. You can have a more energy-efficient home or workplace and save money on your utility bills all year long. It's simple. Visit deltautilities.com to learn more and to qualify for your rebates today. That's deltautilities.com.
Running a business is tough. If you're struggling with HR, benefits, and payroll, you're not alone. Many businesses just don't have the resources to keep up. That's where MWG Employer Services comes in. We provide a full range of employer services with everything from payroll to benefits to HR services and compliance, and can create a custom plan that fits your needs and budget. We're a Mississippi-based company that can help you focus on what you do best, growing your business. Call MWG Employer Services today at 601-206-7966 or go to MWGEmployerServices.com.
In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
We have a short segment left. Nothing short about the friendship that I have with today's guest, Richard Karn. Home Improvement, Family Feud, the list goes on and on. Theater, and he has not stopped working that much as of late. It seems like him and his wife Tootie have had both feet in, not just a toe like Tootie was doing when she was raising their child and becoming a mother and a wife and embracing all that. But it's an amazing feat. Shout out to all you moms out there for all you do for all of our young and the nurturing that and the time it takes to nurture and to make an impact on their life in such a positive way. That is very cool. And I hope your husbands and your children, it took my children quite a while before they were totally grateful, but I think they're grateful now for their mom. Visit Mississippi.org. I am eternally grateful for everything they do and celebrating our Mississippi. Pretty dang cool. Check it out. All right, Richard, I wanted to ask you, you and Tim, the good parts, the easy parts, and then were there any complicated parts working together?
Well, I had never really worked with a stand-up comedian before Home Improvement. And that was a master class in comedy. I mean, watching him, come in the next day and something happened that night before, and all of a sudden it's a 40-minute act. Just some little thing. Yeah, so seeing how you can take those things in life and just expand upon them, and you see that with the comedians online or in shows. They're a really good source to use for a sitcom because they have a worldview. And you can write into that worldview because it's already kind of established there.
Nice.
But working with Tim, he would get political a lot of times, and he would argue or not argue, but he would state his stance on certain things, which would create argument. And
I wonder if he started it. All this mess.
He always starts it. He's a big.
No, he started it with everybody. I'm kidding, but it seems like everybody's doing it. But continue. I'm sorry.
Well, there was a point, when we were doing some assembly required or whatever, where I said to him one day, I said, I got to walk away. Tim, I have to walk away. And this is after 10, 15 minutes of arguing about something. I go, I'm walking away. And I go away and I come back like 20 minutes later and he goes, God, Richard, thank you. Thank you for that. I can't do that with my wife. And it occurs to me that he's having, certain things, because they're politically, on maybe a little bit opposite sides of the spectrum.
Oh, goodness.
And I can't do that with my wife, but I can do that with you because we're friends and we can come back and not have that animosity, bubbling underneath.
Do you ever get mad? Your temperament's always, to me, so level. It seems to be in your DNA.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm a little more pragmatic about a lot of things. I don't hold on to that stuff as much, so I might be upset about something for a couple of weeks, and then a month goes by, and I was like, yeah, okay, fine, I'm okay, and that's maybe that's just my mechanism for coping. But we just celebrated our 40th anniversary.
Oh, look, congratulations.
When you're in a 40-year relationship, you have to know, well, what hill am I going to die on? Am I going to argue about this point, or is it worth it? Or, is there another way of looking at it? I don't know whether it's because I'm an Aquarian or because I'm from Seattle or because of my parents. But, sometimes I can just look at both sides of that story and go, oh, yeah, okay, I see that. But, this is how I feel about it. So respect that.
I love it. Well, you're always the voice of reason to me, is sort of how I see you. Cooper, you, Tootie, Christmas. This is the first Christmas that Cecilia has to be cooking in the kitchen in New York. Adrian's going to be on call, doing the doctor thing. And Strack's the only one that gets to come home. You three get to be together this Christmas?
That's really tough. Well, when we first got together, we used to split our vacations, our holidays. So if we went back to Seattle for Thanksgiving, we'd go to Texas for Christmas. And then the next year we'd go to Seattle for Christmas. And, and then when Cooper was born, all of a sudden, we're going to have Christmas at home. And you guys can come to us. I lied. I just lied because the first few Christmases we took Cooper to different places.
Yeah. And then it got hard. Then it gets hard.
But when they're 4, they're 5 and Christmas becomes a big thing, you want to have that
moment. I love it. Well, we've been celebrating all sorts of things with my pal, Richard Karn. Merry Christmas to you guys, because by the time this airs, it'll be upon us. And I usually have Richard kick off the new year, but I thought, why don't we let him end the old year? And he always makes me feel good about whatever it is going on. Merry Christmas to you guys. Richard, thank you so much for taking a Mississippi Minute with me and all you do for us.
Steve, it's always a pleasure. I love talking with you and catching up. And heck, now you can watch Christmas in Mississippi again.
Every year, Christmas in Mississippi, everybody, Richard Karn.
I think they have the director's cut too, where it's like 5 minutes longer.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Where do you see, you got to go stream that, right?
I think they it's in there under the more information.
Okay, cool. I love it. All right. Well, we're going to do that. That's going to be the first Christmas show I watch this year. I promise you. I'm making that pact right now. All right, brother. I appreciate you so much. Hugs to Tootie.
All right, buddy. See you. Take care.
Visit Mississippi.org. We're going to be doing a Mississippi Christmas like I've done every year. Y'all get ready for that. Excited about that. Blessings. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I'm Steve Azar.
I'm Steve Azar. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them, where you can take your sweet time.
A SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.